Have you ever thought about getting remarried but wondered if you're making the right choice? Marriage later in life is a completely different experience than when you were younger. And there are some truths that people often overlook until it's too late. Whether you've been single for a while, recently, divorced, or even widowed, remarriage comes with unique challenges that can affect your finances, relationships, and overall happiness in ways you may not have considered. In this video, we're going to uncover 5 essential truths that you need to know before remarrying after 60. These insights might just change how you view love, commitment, and long-term security at this stage in your life. Too often, people rush into remarriage without thinking about how it could impact their future. And later, they find themselves dealing with unexpected stress and complications. But when you have the right knowledge, you can make the best decision for yourself, one that brings fulfillment, peace, and stability. Stay tuned until the end, because understanding these 5 truths could help you avoid unnecessary heartache and ensure that any new relationship you enter is truly right for you. Whether you're considering remarrying soon or just exploring the possibility, you'll want to hear this. Now let's get started. Number 1, financial realities change after 60. One of the biggest surprises people face when remarrying later in life is how much it can impact their financial situation. Many assume that getting married again is simply about love and companionship, but the reality is that marriage is also a legal and financial commitment. If you're not careful, it can affect your retirement savings, Social Security benefits, pensions, and even what you leave behind for your children or loved ones. The last thing you want is to enter a marriage believing it will make life easier, only to realize later that it has complicated your financial future in ways you never expected. One major consideration is how remarriage affects Social Security benefits. Many people don't realize that if you are receiving benefits based on a former spouse's work record, those benefits may be reduced or even eliminated once you remarry. This can come as a shock, especially if you are relying on that income to maintain your lifestyle. Additionally, pensions and survivor benefits often come with restrictions, some of which are voided upon remarriage. If you or your partner receive pension payments, it's worth reviewing the terms carefully before making any decisions. Beyond government benefits, there's also the issue of retirement, savings, and estate planning. When you marry, your financial situation is no longer just about you. It now involves another person's assets, debts, and spending habits. Even if you and your new spouse keep separate bank accounts, state laws may impact how assets are divided in the event of a divorce or passing. If you have children or grandchildren, you'll also want to consider how a new marriage affects their inheritance. Many people assume they can simply leave their assets to their kids as planned, but remarriage often changes legal rights regarding property and wealth distribution. Take Robert, for example, a 72-year-old who remarried after being widowed. He had always assumed that his children would inherit his estate, but after his remarriage, he learned that his new wife had legal claims to his assets, which meant his children could end up receiving less than he originally intended. He had to navigate difficult conversations and legal changes to ensure that everyone he cared about was protected. If you're considering remarriage, take the time to talk to a financial advisor or an estate planner. Make sure you understand how it will impact your financial situation, your retirement, and any assets you plan to pass down. These conversations may not feel romantic, but they are essential for protecting your future. Number 2, family dynamics can get complicated. When you remarry later in life, you're not just blending 2 lives, you're blending families, histories, and expectations. And while love might bring 2 people together, family relationships can introduce complexities that many don't anticipate. Unlike younger couples who are building a life from the ground up, people over 60 often come into a new marriage with adult children, grandchildren, and decades of established family dynamics. These relationships don't always merge as smoothly as you might hope. One of the biggest challenges is how adult children react to a new marriage. Even if they want you to be happy, they may struggle with feelings of loyalty to your previous spouse, or worry about how this new relationship will affect family traditions, finances, or inheritance. Some may welcome your new partner with open arms, while others may feel resentment, suspicion, or even concern for your well-being. These emotions are completely natural, but if they aren't handled with care, they can create lasting tension that affects not just your marriage, but your entire family. Beyond children, relationships with grandchildren can also shift. If you've spent years being the primary grandparent figure in their lives, introducing a new spouse can feel like a disruption to them. Some may embrace it, while others may need time to adjust. The same goes for your new spouse's family. If they have children or grandchildren of their own, blending. Traditions and expectations can take patience and understanding. Another factor to consider is how remarriage affects inheritance and financial matters. It's not uncommon for children to worry that a new spouse might change existing wills, alter financial plans, or even receive a portion of what they assumed was meant for them. And while money may not be the focus of your new relationship, it's often an underlying concern for family members. Some conflicts arise not because of greed, but because children want to ensure that their parents' legacy is honored the way it was originally intended. Take Susan, for example. At 68, she remarried after being single for over a decade. She assumed her children would be happy for her, but instead she found herself navigating uncomfortable conversations about inheritance, holiday traditions, and even where she would live. While she knew her kids loved her, she quickly realized that her new marriage required open discussions and reassurances to maintain harmony within the family. If you're considering remarriage, take time to talk with your family. Be open about your intentions, listen to their concerns, and set clear expectations about what will and won't change. It may take time for everyone to adjust, but addressing these concerns early on can prevent misunderstandings and resentment later. The key is to approach these conversations with patience, honesty, and reassurance that your decision is about finding companionship while still valuing the relationships you've built over the years. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 3, emotional expectations are different. At this stage in life, relationships look different than they did decades ago. When you were younger, marriage often revolved around building a life together, raising children, buying a home, growing careers. But after 60, priorities shift. Marriage isn't necessarily about starting from scratch. It's about companionship, emotional support, and maintaining independence while sharing life with someone. This change in dynamic is something many people don't fully consider before remarrying, and it can lead to unexpected challenges. One of the biggest differences is the level of independence each person brings into the marriage. By the time you reach your 60s, 70s, or beyond, you've already established routines, habits, and a way of living that suits you. You may have your own home, personal hobbies, and a daily rhythm that makes you feel comfortable. A new marriage introduces another person's habits, lifestyle preferences, and expectations into your world, and that adjustment isn't always easy. Some people expect remarriage to be as effortless as finding the right partner, but in reality, it requires careful navigation of boundaries, personal space, and individual identity. Unlike younger couples who may be building financial security together later in life, marriages often involve two individuals who are already financially stable and emotionally self-sufficient. This means that the reasons for coming together are different. Love, companionship, and shared experiences become more important than external achievements. However, this also means that both partners need to be clear about their expectations, how much time they want to spend together, how they handle disagreements, and how they maintain personal independence while still nurturing the relationship. Another factor to consider is past emotional experiences. If you've lost a spouse or gone through a difficult divorce, those memories and emotions don't simply disappear when you remarry. You and your new partner, both bring decades of history with you, previous relationships, family connections, and deeply ingrained perspectives on love and commitment. This isn't a bad thing, but it does mean that being emotionally open, patient, and understanding is essential. The way you communicate, express affection, or handle disagreements may be shaped by past experiences. And learning how to navigate those differences is key to a successful second marriage. Take Harold, for example. At 75, he found love again after being widowed for several years. But what he didn't expect was how different this new relationship felt compared to his first marriage. His late wife had been his partner for decades, and the way they functioned as a couple was deeply ingrained in him. His new wife, meanwhile, had been divorced for many years and valued her independence in ways he hadn't encountered before. It took time for them to find their rhythm, to balance closeness with personal space, to communicate without comparing the past, and to fully embrace the unique dynamic of their marriage. If you're thinking about remarrying, ask yourself, what do you truly want out of